Because we're stomping on them bitter ones.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host here on YouTube, Miss Cyan, often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And we are talking about Raw this week. Was in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it was pretty decent, I'll give you that. It was good, you know. It was more so, there was a lot of promos and like talk to help build up for things to come in it, so to say. Now, started out with Roman coming out. Show started out with Roman coming out, addressing the crowd on how he won the Intercontinental Championship last week, which now thus makes him the second member of the Shield to be a Grand Slam champion. Which case, honestly, Seth, he needs to either, Seth either needs to win the, Universal Championship or the Intercontinental title himself to become a Grand Slam champion. But, digressing. Either way, Roman comes out, talks about on how he won the match, and then on how after the show went off air when Miz was cutting this scaling promo on how the crowd don't deserve him, he busts his ass, this, that, and the other. You know what? Because I'm the Miz and I'm awesome! Turns around and see the Shield, shoot. Which case they proceed to giving him the normal shield type beatdown, then a triple powerbomb through the announce table. So, you know, gotta leave him happy. Gotta have him leave him happy, son. There you go. Typical Vinceism. Not saying that's a bad thing, but either way. So, comes out, hypes that up, and then he says he's doing an open challenge for anyone who wants a shot at that. We hear the Miz's music, thinking right off bat, wait, is the Miz coming back from that beatdown already? What? They just said he wasn't. And out comes the Miztourage, hyping up who his new opponent shall be, and it is, damn it, it's Elias. So yeah, Elias is going to face Roman later on in the night. We'll get to that. First things first though, first match of the night, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. And interesting thing, well, two interesting things. You notice it right at the beginning. One, Roman came out from the entranceway with his own music. And two, Seth came out from the entranceway with his own music. Now, obviously, not saying that they're going to do a Shield breakup soon. Now, it's obvious they'll slowly drift them out, have the guys all chasing after their own things, that kind of thing. Kind of like on how they slowly faded out the idea of the second wave of Nexus, after like when Otunga and Axel were tag champions, and then they just eventually just dropped the Nexus name altogether with them too. But either way, Seth, he didn't have his burn it down thing with his music, which, weird. It kind of weird. Especially since he came out with the Burn It Down shirt, merch shirt on. Wiggy. Either way, this nice match, it was a good night. It was talking faster than I'm thinking. God damn it! Okay. Good match. Had a nice start. Cesaro, he was in good control on it from the start. He was kind of leading it as it went for the most part. Probably the one part that cracked me up was with the commentary. And yeah, they said Ambrose was off celebrating his honeymoon with Renee Young, which case then, pretty sure heard thousands of fangirls. You could hear thousands upon thousands of fangirls all across the interwebs, all sadly crying at the same time because they just remembered Dean Ambrose is married and he's enjoying his married life. Either way though, funny thing on commentary. See, I kind of brain farted there for a minute. But, yeah. Cole wound up saying, Corey, if Seth gets a win tonight, do you think that's going to put him and Ambrose back in the run for a tag title win? And right off bat, Booker T just, no. Like, no. No tag title match for you. Like that. It was just, I thought that was fucking funny. You know, but either way, it was a half-decent match. Seth mounted up a slow comeback, you know, kind of like that whole Rocky Balboa one, getting the shit kicked out of you and then just getting up like, hey, I didn't hear no bell. And then slowly started to build one back up. Match came to an end. Seth hit the super kick and then hit him with the knee. Got the 1, 2, 3. After that, Charlie Caruso came on in, asked Seth what they're doing. They invoked their rematch clause for next week. Raw, Cesaro, Sheamus versus Dean and Seth for the tag titles. So honestly, I see them winning it there. If not here, then at the next pay-per-view. More so just to solidify the idea of the Shield is united as a whole again, because, you know, now they got all the titles except for the Universal. But either way, that was that. Next matchup, Titus O'Neil versus Samoa Joe, and man, there's really no nice way to put this. Joe just came out there and beat the shit out of Titus. I mean, listen, I grew up on 4th Street in South Philly, and I've seen beatdowns my whole life. I grew up on 4th Street. I moved to 2nd Street when I was like 12. So, and both neighborhoods, you know, you see beatdowns. I saw beatdowns a lot. And, you know, seeing this looked like something that, you know, I would see just like on the back street and like on the back alley in 4th Street, just like, ah, damn, these two are fucking fighting. But yeah, Joe, just straight up, boom. Once he got it in, Coquito clutch, got it in. Titus was out. Next thing you know, went after Apollo Crews. Boom. Took him down. Next matchup, it was supposed to be a women's match. Sasha, Mickie James, and Bayley going against Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. But Sasha was the first one to come out and no Mickie. And then Bayley was supposed to come out and no Bayley. Then Paige, Mandy, and Sonya came out. They showed that they beat the crap out of them backstage. And then they proceeded to come down to the ring, beat the crap out of Sasha, and yeah. So they kind of they're calling themselves Absolution now, which, okay, yeah, we'll go with that for your band name, I guess. I mean, hey, it's better than when you guys were better than the last team that Paige was in charge of, you know. Last time it was called the Sorority Sisters, and that lasted for like a hot 10 minutes before somebody found out that was a porn group. Ugh. Hopefully there's no porn groups named Absolution, otherwise, you know, otherwise you could just hear Vince do, God damn it, who keeps naming this girl's group after porn sites? Huh? Don, I'm looking at you, is it you? That's just on how I picture that going. But yeah. So yeah, instead we get Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy. And Bray comes out, does this promo, as a child I never had a Thanksgiving. My father would womanize, he would drink. My mother, she would constantly beat me with a curtain rod, sell me as a Vietnamese prostitute named Ming Lu, and I'm confusing fantasy with reality again. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry. My bad. Anyways, yeah, Bray, he was pretty much in control for the match, you know, and he got the win. It was a relatively quick match. I wouldn't say it was a piss break, but honestly, my heart wasn't in the match. My heart was not in this match whatsoever. Bray got the win, Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3, that was it. After that, Matt just sat there in the corner of the ring, like, die. Crowd started eating it up, going with it, and then you just hear Cole on commentary saying, I think Matt's having a breakdown. Which case, finally, fucking TNA is letting them use their broken gimmick. Which case, all the more good because, hey, the people are still eating up the whole broken bit, you know? And how long has it been since TNA even, since they've had it? You know, it's been almost a year now. So, either way, next matchup, Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweight match. And the reason for this match is, you know, all the baby faces for the Cruiserweights stormed into Kurt Angle's office. Yes, all the baby faces. So that means all 4 baby faces came out there into his office. Started going nuts about on how Enzo is the champ and his group, the Zo Train, which, off topic real quick, can we change that group's name please? Because honestly, the Zo Train sounds like a gay porn that's set in a prison, and the train is what goes on in Cell Block C. So, for the love of God, can we change that name? That being said, back to the matter at hand. They all confront Kurt. They all say, you know, they don't like Enzo as champ, all this, that, and the other. Kurt says, okay, you know what? Yeah, you're right, guys. Listen, Enzo may be champ, but I'm still the boss, so we're going to have a Fatal 4-Way this week. We're going to have a Fatal 4-Way next week, and the winner of both Fatal 4-Ways are going to compete, and that winner is going to face Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. So, we got Rich Swann, Noam, Akira Tozawa, and Ariya Daivari going out up against each other. Now, obviously, the heels, you know, Dar and Daivari, they're targeted right off bat, you know, to get taken out of the ring. This was actually a fairly decent match. It had a nice pace, nice kind of flow, you know, to go with it. I liked the match thoroughly. I thought it was good, you know. Honestly, I can't really complain too much on it, you know, especially since, you know, everyone's been saying, you know, oh, they should bring the Cruiserweights back, they should bring the Cruiserweights back, they should bring the Cruiserweights back. And then when they bring the Cruiserweights back, what happens? Oh, what the fuck, this is so bad. Okay, I'm not saying that the Cruiserweights aren't bad, but what I'm saying is, you gotta give it time, because, you know, in which case, again, I'm not saying Raw and SmackDown are amazing and be-all, end-all, but compared to where they were when they first started, compared to now, yeah, it's all a matter of time, growth, and development. You know, the Cruiserweights just started. It hasn't even, you know, it's barely been a freaking year or so since the Cruiserweight tournament. You know, not going to be able to bring in new people just boom, 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 left and right like crazy. It's going to take time to grow and develop. So, yeah, you're going to need to wait. You're going to have to ride out and eat plate after plate of shit with this until we can get the good shit. That being said, this Fatal 4-Way was decent, was good. Rich Swann got the win by hitting a Phoenix Splash on Noam Dar. So, he's going to go in the match next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's against Ariya Daivari. Or not Daivari, I'm sorry. Idiot moment right there. Mustafa Ali will get the win next week, and then Ali beats Rich Swann. And then finally, because, you know, I think it's safe to say without a shadow of doubt, Mustafa Ali, hands down, probably one of the best ones in there. Definitely deserves a run with the title. Come at me if you don't like it, but that's my view. Next match up, it was the Intercontinental title match. Elias Samson going against Roman. And before Elias Before the match, Elias was out, played a little ditty on his guitar, had Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas on both sides playing a harmonica, which case, big credit to them for playing that, but honestly, if it was me, I would have played a more manly instrument like the kazoo. Because if wrestling has taught me anything, Edge and Christian were the best musicians in wrestling for the kazoos. And with that being said, this was a really good... This was, you know, I have shit on Elias Samson a lot on here. And, personal opinion, I think it's been all well deserved. But, this was a good match. Nice snug tie-up right at the start. Nice good pace. You know, Elias, he was in control. But Roman was leading the match, if that makes sense, you know. It was, you know, I absolutely loved the match. I thought it was good. And Elias, you know, as much as I'm just like, every time I see him, I'm like, God damn it, it's Elias? Really? No, I'm still like that, but I'm like, okay, this kid's good, you know. He's finally gotten a chance to actually show himself, and hey, he ain't half fucking bad. Which, golf clap, golf clap. There we go. And that's my cheesy pop culture reference for the night, folks. Thank you. Wait, I still have a few more things to go over. Never mind. Thanks for the own cue cards, Wade. Nice fucking job. Sometimes my production crew can be a pain in the ass. Anyways. This is a nice match, you know. Probably one of the cooler parts was when Roman, he took out the Miztourage that were sitting ringside there. He just straight out, boom, Superman punched Bo. And then when he went over to Curtis still selling the neck bracelet, you know, like he's Joe Gardner, like, oh, I got this right here, don't. And then Roman, he's like, backs off, gets, you know, and then swings back around, boom, spears the sumbitch. And then they proceed to go back and have the match. This, you know, and then match wound up eventually coming to an end when Elias through Roman went to go bounce off the ropes. Roman went the other way, and then boom, spear. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Roman won, and still your Intercontinental Champion, Roman Reigns. And as he's walking up the ramp, victorious and as gleeful as can be, out comes Samoa Joe, sneaks up on him, locks in the Coquita clutch. They have to get Fit Finlay, and, you know, a whole bunch of other production crew, you know. And Jamie Noble, all them guys, they have to pull them off of him. And, yeah. So, obviously, we're going to get a match between Roman and Joe for the Intercontinental title. And honestly, I could see that one going either way right now. And I'm honestly satisfied with either or for that, as it went for the winner of that one. Because Joe, he doesn't need a title to get over. But if you put a title on him, damn, is it nice to see him run with that shit. And Roman, you know, I've given a lot of shit on, but that kid has earned my respect. You know, as a performer, he has earned my respect in that fact, so I'm good with that too, either way. Now, next matchup, it was, I think, honest to God, I have no other way to describe this, and I call this my match of the night just because of on how fucking, how the fuck it came to be. Asuka came out, then came Dana Brooke, and they showed that little, like, you know, like on how they used to do in the old 80s and 90s with the little promo video down below, and then they bring it up to try and hype up for the folks at home. Well, they still do that. They're doing that now still and all. And Dana, she's talking about on how she's ready. She's gonna get right at Asuka at the start, you know, and she's gonna get at her, and you're just like, yay, way to go! She is gonna die. And then once the bell rings, she literally, this is the literal translation. This is literally everything that happened in the match. She ran to Asuka. Asuka caught her, spun around, locked in a cross arm breaker, and she tapped. That was it. Yeah. Then after that, Paige and her little gaggle of friends, which case honestly, they kind of remind me of a group they kind of remind me of this trio thing I saw on Brazzers, Hot and Me. Okay, I can't get into that on here. Kids may be watching. Damn. Okay. Gotta remember, can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. Anyways, Paige and her trio, they come down and they go to circle the ring and they're all just like, hi. And Asuka, staring a hole through them all, gets out the ring and starts walking away, and she's got that evil little grin on her face like, ha ha ha, y'all want to take me? Which one am I breaking first? As she's walking away, you know. And honestly, I gotta say, I think the only one that is an actual credible opponent would probably be Sonya Deville, more so just because, you know, they both have that MMA kind of fighting background, and I could see that being used and used properly in a match, you know? And I not only that, honestly, with Paige returning, a lot of people are like, ooh, ah, Paige, ah! Me, I'm like, yeah. I could care less, because, I mean, honestly, the division has grown leaps and bounds since she left, you know, and not only that, really, you know, you freaking let your boyfriend shoot all over you and the title that you won, and then you let him record it. Kid, you need to learn. You don't record that kind of nasty stuff. Anyways, next matchup, next matchup, Jason Jordan versus Kane, and this Kane tossed Jordan over, his knee buckled, and yeah, Jordan lost via countout. He proceeded to get the crap kicked out of him, and then out comes Finn Balor, which then, yay, big pop. You know, Finn saves Jordan, Finn fights Kane, and I could see an actual story going with this. You know, you got the devil's favorite demon, Kane, going against the Demon King. Just saying, that could work. Now, either way, you know, nice bit of back and forth. Match ended with a double count out. Kane proceeded to beat the crap out of Finn. Wound up setting the chair up around his neck. Looked like he was going to go and do like via Brian Pillman with the loose cannon. And then right on over, Braun! You hear Braun's music and he comes out. Which case you think about it. And buddy of mine on Twitter brought this up. Braun Strowman survived an ambulance crash, being buried in a garbage truck, you know, freaking getting mangled and assaulted by Roman, you know, and then having a chair lodged in his throat and damn near damaged throat, you know, last week from Kane. You know, I'm pretty sure he's got a healing factor that makes Wolverines look like a normal everyday humans, you know, because he's gotta, obviously, you know, otherwise, you know, it's like, how the fuck does he keep getting up from this shit? Really? Anyways, Braun proceeded to come out and then beat the ungodly shit out of Kane, in which case everyone that watched just witnessed a monster destroy a demon. Yeah, there's no other way around that. But yeah, that is it for this week's show. So, like on normal, please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at TimVicious. Also do have another account, Tim_Vicious. And folks, new episode of the Dad Show, lifestyle podcast, storyteller podcast, whatever kind of podcast you see it as, is up. Details on that are down below. Also, do not forget to follow all of these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, make sure y'all check out Axel's newest project, Wrestling Review, where they talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my two co-hosts for the Dad Show, my good brothers. I am Danny Sunday, and the executive producer for my show, Oliver Ben, who provided the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check out his music. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such details are down below. Also, make sure y'all hit Ollie up for one of these Ollie Rewind shirts. Show the man some love and support. Aaron _Deborah, as well as Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.